Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the bizarre and wonderful world of one of the planet's most peculiar animals, the platypus. Picture this, a creature with a duck's bill, a beaver's tail, otter-like feet, and the fur of a mammal. When the first platypus specimen arrived in Europe in the late 1700s, scientists thought it was a hoax, a joke somebody stitched together. But this animal is very real, and its story is one of the most fascinating tales of evolution you'll ever hear. The platypus isn't just a quirky mix of parts. It's a living fossil, a time capsule that blurs the lines between mammals, birds, and reptiles. Its evolutionary journey stretches back millions of years, offering us a rare glimpse into the complex dance of adaptation, survival, and finding a unique place in the world. So, get ready to explore the incredible story of how this one-of-a-kind creature came to be. The story of the platypus begins with a very ancient and exclusive group of mammals called monotremes. Monotremes are incredibly special because they are the only mammals left on Earth that lay eggs. The only other members of this club are the echidnas. This egg-laying trait is a throwback to our deep, shared ancestry with reptiles. Fossil evidence tells us that the monotreme lineage branched off from the rest of the mammalian family tree over 166 million years ago. This happened on the massive supercontinent of Gondwana, which would eventually break apart to form Australia, Antarctica, and South America. This early split meant that the ancestors of the platypus went down a completely different evolutionary path. While other mammals were developing live birth, monotremes held onto their reptilian heritage, creating a unique hybrid of traits that we see in the platypus today. They are a testament to an ancient branch of the mammal family that managed to survive against all odds, preserving a piece of evolutionary history in their very DNA. So how did the platypus get its signature look? It all comes down to its lifestyle. Early platypus ancestors were freshwater hunters, spending their days foraging for insects, crustaceans, and other small aquatic critters in the rivers and streams of ancient Australia. Over millions of years, natural selection sculpted their anatomy for this specific job. The most iconic feature, that duck-like bill, isn't hard like a bird's beak. It's actually soft, rubbery, and incredibly sensitive. It's packed with thousands of receptors, some for touch, and others for detecting electricity. That's right, the platypus has a sixth sense, electroreception. When it dives underwater, it closes its eyes, ears, and nostrils and uses its bill to scan the riverbed. It can detect the tiny electrical fields generated by the muscle contractions of its prey. This remarkable hunting strategy allowed the platypus to become an apex predator in its underwater world, finding food where other animals couldn't even see. Evolution didn't just give the platypus a weird look, it gave it a superpower. But the platypus we see today is a little different from its ancient relatives. Fossil discoveries like the species known as Opterodon *, have given us a fascinating look into the platypus family album. These ancient platypuses were much larger than the ones we have now, and importantly, they had teeth. Unlike modern adult platypuses, which are toothless and use tough, horny pads in their bills to grind up their food, their ancestors had fully functional molars. These fossils help us piece together the evolutionary puzzle. They show a clear shift over time, likely driven by changes in diet or environment, that led from a toothed ancestor to the grinding pad specialist of today. By studying these ancient forms, scientists can trace the step-by-step process of how life in the water shaped every aspect of the platypus, refining its body and its hunting techniques to perfection. These fossils are like snapshots from the past, showing us the direct evidence of evolution in action. Now, let's talk about the platypus's reproductive strategy, because this is where things get really unique. As we mentioned, the platypus is a monotreme, which means it lays eggs. After mating, the female digs a deep burrow in a riverbank, lays 1 to 3 small leathery eggs, and incubates them by curling her body around them. But here's the twist. After the babies called puggles hatch, she feeds them milk. However, she doesn't have nipples like other mammals. Instead, she secretes milk through pores in her skin, and the puggles lap it up from her fur. This incredible combination of egg-laying and lactation is a living window into early mammalian evolution. Evolutionary biologists believe this represents a kind of intermediate stage, a bridge between the purely egg-laying strategy of reptiles and the live birth and nipple-feeding strategy of most modern mammals. The platypus shows us a successful alternative path that evolution took, reminding us that there's more than one way to be a mammal. Beyond its physical quirks, the platypus has also evolved some fascinating behaviors to survive. Its burrowing lifestyle is key. A platypus will dig two types of burrows, a simple one for resting, and a much more complex, deep burrow for nesting and raising its young. These burrows provide a safe haven from predators like eagles, snakes, and crocodiles. But the platypus has another trick up its sleeve, or rather, on its ankle. Male platypuses have a sharp, venomous spur on each hind leg. The venom is potent enough to cause excruciating pain in humans and can be lethal to smaller animals. It's thought that males primarily use these spurs during mating season to fight off rivals. This venomous defense is another ancient trait, one that is very rare among mammals. These behavioral adaptations show us that evolution doesn't just shape an animal's body. It shapes its actions, its social life, and its entire strategy for survival in a world full of challenges. So, why did such a strange and wonderful creature evolve in Australia of all places? The answer lies in continental drift. After the supercontinent Gondwana broke apart, Australia became an island continent, isolated from the rest of the world for tens of millions of years. This isolation turned Australia into a giant evolutionary laboratory. On other continents, placental mammals, the group that includes humans, dogs, and bats, rose to dominance and outcompeted many other types of animals. But in Australia, they were largely absent. This gave monotremes like the platypus and another famous group, the marsupials, a chance to thrive and diversify without that intense competition. They filled ecological niches that were occupied by placental mammals elsewhere. The platypus is a living symbol of this unique evolutionary history, a relic from a time when the rules of mammalian evolution were being written differently, on a continent all its own. And the discoveries just keep coming. Modern science is giving us an even deeper understanding of the platypus's evolutionary journey through genetics. When scientists sequenced the platypus genome, they found a mind-boggling mosaic of genes. It contains genes that are characteristic of mammals, birds, and even reptiles, all mixed together in one animal. This genetic cocktail perfectly mirrors its physical appearance and confirms its unique position on the evolutionary tree, sitting right at the base of the mammalian branch. These genetic studies are helping us pinpoint exactly how and when the platypus developed its signature traits, like venom production and electroreception. By unlocking the secrets of its DNA, we're not just learning about the platypus. We're gaining profound insights into the genetic toolkit that nature uses to build all forms of life. In the end, the platypus is so much more than just a biological curiosity. It's a living, breathing testament to the incredible power and creativity of evolution. Every part of it, from its sensitive bill and webbed feet, to its egg-laying and milk-secreting abilities, is the result of millions of years of fine-tuning, a story of survival written in its very anatomy. By studying the evolution of this one singular species, we learn so much about the broader processes that have shaped all life on Earth, including our own. The platypus reminds us that the path of evolution is not always a straight line. It's a winding, branching river full of surprising twists and turns, capable of producing creatures that defy our expectations and ignite our sense of wonder. It's a true icon of the natural world and a powerful symbol of adaptation and resilience. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the evolutionary tale of the platypus. What an incredible animal! If you found this as fascinating as I did, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the wonders of the natural world. See you next time.